What's up, 8? How's it going, buddy? Yo, 8, how'd you do last night, buddy? Ah, you were right on the money about the center situation in the OKC, though. What's up, Jose? Got a really interesting slate today. Yeah, he was. He was honestly the only thing keeping him in that game. And then when he got in foul trouble, it was over. Give everybody a couple minutes to hop in here. I did start a little early today. Make sure you guys go give us a heart and retweet us over on X. Helps tremendously. I think the key to the night slates which pay up you're rocking with tonight. We got a lot of good ones, man. We got a lot of good ones. I figured you would be. The guy who fouled out in 18 minutes. Six personal fouls in 18 minutes against Brooklyn. Definitely, I can definitely see the path for him. But he obviously has foul trouble. Played 16 minutes against Denver in November. 3 personal fouls. And 18 minutes on the 12th against Brooklyn and fouled out with 6. But he definitely has upside. I mean, you can see he's grading out pretty well for me. You just hope he doesn't get into foul trouble early. My favorite center tonight isn't Eubanks and it isn't Daniel Theus, however you say it. I'm going to have both of them. But my favorite guy is Mark Williams. Oh yeah, he's a baller, man. He's got to work on his fouls. If he gets his fouls under control, he's going to be a menace. If he can just get those fouls under control, he will be a menace. What's up, Conflict? I don't know if you've seen my post. I am so sorry I wasn't able to get those DK projections out today. It's just been a wild day. I think, and we probably won't get this news before lock, and it is probably a slim chance, but I think there is a chance he starts 8. Everyone's predicting Eubanks, but I think they might give him a chance. What's up, Chubbs? So, Carl Anthony Towns, we just got news as a true game time decision. So, we probably won't get that news before lock. But I'm going to tell you guys, I'm leaning towards him not playing. I read an article yesterday or the day before that said he's also dealing with a bone chip in his foot. It's not going to require surgery, though. And with no cat on the floor, I want to play more Brunson, more Hart. You guys know how it goes. Let's see what his ownership is coming in at compared to Eubanks. Because I know a lot of people are going to be on Eubanks. And I mean, I like Eubanks, but Mark Williams is my favorite center today. Oscar is pulling 5% ownership right now. It's about where I thought it'd be, but compared to Drew Eubanks' 35%, I mean. And something else I just noticed, if you really want to get different with a huge upside play, right now Joker is only pulling 2% ownership. We just got so many good budget centers on the slate, which has been rare lately, that, I mean, nobody's really getting a Joker. We just got news Paulo is still going to be on a minutes limit. I figured he was. Yeah. Yeah. Let's hop into it, gentlemen. I know I'm going a little early, but we got a ton to go over today. Ton of news to go over today. At point guard, SGA, absolutely playable in my opinion. He is on a back-to-back. Cleveland yesterday, he dropped 60 fantasy points, and he could have done so much more damage. He could have. Do not play Paulo today, 8. SGA could have done so much more. He only played 29 minutes. The game just got out of hand so fast, he didn't need to play the full game. So, I expect him to be rested. Only 10% owned. Really like some SGA today as a lower owned pay up. Right now, as it sets, LaMelo is my favorite pay up. Taking on Chicago, who we know is terrible against the guard position, ranking 26 in the NBA. It's a pace up spot for Charlotte, which is crazy to say because, I mean, Charlotte runs fast in their own right. What's up, Kyle? Welcome in, buddy. Hope you're doing well. So, I love LaMelo today. Happy to get to him in my lineups. Jalen Brunson, it's gonna depend on Cat. As it sits right now, Jalen Brunson's just an okay play for me. But if we got news that Cat was out, and I'm kind of leaning towards him being out, then I love JB. So, Jalen Brunson, definitely got to keep your eye on. As it sits right now, he's only 5% owned. If we don't get any kind of news before lock about Cat and you're feeling risky, I think Jalen Brunson's definitely a stand to take that could absolutely pay off for you. Dame, he's grading out fine. I'm not really there, though. In this price range, just give me John Morant. He's $100 cheaper. He's grading out better. Just played San Antonio and had a huge game of 48 fantasy points against him. Seems like Ja's getting back to being Ja. And I'm happy to be on that train. I want to encourage you, if you're playing more than one lineup tonight, run a little bit of Ja. Shantae Murray's grading out pretty well. Always happy to have him in my lineup. Has played great lately. Happy to have him. No interest in Tyler Hero tonight with Butler being back. No interest really in Kyrie going against OKC. Russ and Murray just are not grading out great for me. I mean, yeah, just not much to say there. Neither one grading out well. I think Austin Reeves is intriguing. Only pulling 6% ownership. Not near what he should be, in my opinion. He has huge upside. No real interest in Josh Giddey. It's just this team's getting more and more healthy. Not there. Not interested in D'Lo at all at this price. CJ McCollum. If we get news that oh, never mind. He's already been cleared. He's gonna play. Trending towards playing. Last I heard, he was GTD, game time decision, questionable, but looks like he's gonna play. If DeJounte Murray were to set, though, I would have interest in McCollum, but with them both playing, I'm not there. Really like Colin Sexton today. He's gonna be the best player on the floor for this team. Happy to play him. I've said that about him numerous times this season already. No real interest in Cole Anthony, no interest in Derek White, not really interested in that game at all. Spencer Dinwiddie, I think he can be intriguing. His price is just so expensive, but I mean, when he gets the minutes, he balls. I see no reason he wouldn't get them today. Um, Nobody's projecting Dinwiddie well. Be a great get different piece, only 2% on right now. I think Chris Paul is fine, but I would prefer to get to Castle or Vassell if I'm playing a Spurs guard today. Keontae George, don't mind him at all, but I would prefer Sexton for only $300 cheaper. No real interest in Kobe White, no real interest in Ben Simmons, or Pritchard, or Holiday, or Ayo, or Scottie Pippen. Yeah, it will, Chubbs, but he's gonna play the entire game. I fully expect him to play 35 plus minutes, so while his usage rate is gonna take a hit, I don't think it's significant. No interest in any of those guys, though. Stephon Castle looks fantastic. This is a train I want you guys to hop on before he's up 65-7K. Last two games he started, and he's had 33 and 35 fantasy points, playing 32 minutes or more in each game. It's just a simple misprice that the FanDuel algorithm hasn't caught up to yet. Love Stephon Castle today. Mike Conley is going to start for Dante DiVincenzo. That's what I was projecting as well. So, Cason Wallace, just a GPP play for me. Lonzo Ball's interesting. I know Eight-Legged Ape's going to play him. Going against his brother. I like Lonzo today. I know 5K can be a little steep to play for a guy that's kind of been on a minutes limit, but he's shown over his last 20 games that he's a 1.06 fantasy point per minute player. So if he does get 25 minutes, that's enough to pay off. What's up, Don? Welcome in, buddy. Terry Rozier, GPP only. Isaiah Collier, GPP only. Black, GPP only, really. I just don't think he has the upside I'm looking for. No interest in Kennard or McBride or Meechik. Mike Conley definitely in play today. He's going to get a lot of ownership, but he's going to be starting again. He's been terrible this year, guys. 0.83 fantasy points per minute. But with that being said, he should easily see 28 minutes plus today. Enough to pay off that tab. So I'm going to have Conley, but just know he's going to be very owned today. Davion Mitchell should probably start again today, but I don't have much interest. Just find the extra $100 and play Mike Conley, in my opinion. And nobody else down through here is interesting to me. Move it over to the 2 guard. I think Anthony Edwards is kind of getting overlooked today. I know he's been playing pretty bad by his standards this year, but no DiVincenzo on the court opens up some usage, and he's going to have to be the one to score the ball tonight. He's going to have to be. Really like Ant. He's going under on, in my opinion, at only 8%. We just got news about the Hawks. That doesn't matter. Talked about Hero. No interest in Zach LaVine today. Like I said, this team just getting more and more healthy. Just really not on any Bulls players, even though it's a great game environment. The only one I'm on is Vooch, and still don't care for him that much. Ant playing at Madison Square Garden. That's right. That's right. Talked about Kyrie. No interest in Jaylen Brown. I'm probably just going to completely fade this game if I'm being honest. Maybe a one-off. Trey Murphy looks great. Happy to play him. He's been playing some amazing basketball lately. Very easy matchup for him. Happy to have him in my lineups. Talked about most of these guys. Desmond Bane's grading out pretty well. He's had 38, 35, and 37 fantasy points the last 3 games. It's a guy I would be playing in a cash game, but with John Morant back, I'm not sure I'm going to target him in a tournament. But if we got some kind of crazy news that Ja was out, then of course he looks great. What's up, Elite? Julius Randle, it is a revenge game for him, but I personally don't play the revenge narrative. And I looked at the numbers. Randall's just not grading out that great. If you value the revenge narrative a lot, then, I mean, sure, play him, but I'm just not there. I wasn't there on Randall. I looked into it. I did. No interest in Brandon Miller. Talked about Sexton. Talked about most of these guys, actually. Devin Vassell looks great. Happy to have him in my lineups. He's been playing great basketball. I know $6,700 seems hard to swallow for him, but he's shown he's worth it. He really has. 34 minutes in back-to-back games. Just played Memphis and dropped 36 fantasy points. I will say if I had to rank them, I would prefer Castle a little more than Vassell, but I truly do like them both a lot. Talked about most of these guys. Mikal Bridges, if Cat misses, he's a GPP play for me, but that's about it. Jaime Jaquez, no interest with Jimmy Butler back. Chris Middleton, GPP play at best. He scares me with his minutes. No interest all the way down through here, honestly. Nobody sticking out at all for me. Grady Dick in a GPP only. Same with Anthony Black. Max Christie, definitely intriguing. I think this guy's constantly overlooked. Look at his game logs. He has played over 30 minutes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight games. For only 4,400, I'm happy to have Max Christie land as like the last guy in. Yeah, they did Elite. But this is the one at Madison Square Garden. But I also don't think Cat plays in this game. I could be wrong. That's just the way I'm leaning. I read a report about he had a bone chip in his foot or something like that. Jalen Wells, he's fine, but I would prefer Max Christie, honestly. KCP, just a GPP play for me. Really don't like that game. Nickeil Alexander-Walker's gonna get more minutes today. Don't mind him at all at only 3,900. Yeah, I'm good with that, Cam. Definitely good with that. I think I'm gonna have Nickeil Alexander-Walker today, guys. But I think 20% owned. I think 20% owned is what he's projected for right now. Is far too high. I would want around 10% of him. I think Rob will get minutes today, but I don't think he gets enough to pay off value. And then nobody else through here I'm interested in. Moving over small forward, no interest in Tatum today at that price. There's just other guys I would rather pay up to. Yeah, Conley's fine value, Chody. LeBron's fine, don't mind him at all. Just kind of others around his price point I prefer. Talked about Ant. I think Scotty Barnes is perfectly playable today at only 4% ownership. Definitely get you different. I will have no Paolo today. Coach has already come out and said he's still going to be on a firm minutes limit. Not interested at all. This guy intrigues me today, and I think it's being overlooked. Jalen Williams. He's going to slot down and play some center today. I'm not saying he's going to play there all game, but every time he slots down the center, he has had great fantasy production. Really like J. Will today. He's going to go overlooked. Only showing 6% right now. Happy to have a lot of Jalen Williams in my lineups. Josh Hart, If there's no Cat, of course I want Josh Hart in my lineups. If Cat plays, not really there. No interest in Jaylen Brown. I think RJ Barrett's fine if you want to get a Raptor in your squad and you can't afford Scotty Barnes. RJ's fine. Pulling no ownership either at only 2%. Talked about Trey Murphy. Miles Bridges. A guy I normally don't talk about because I normally don't play him. Great matchup. I looked into it. He's been playing pretty well lately. I don't mind Miles Bridges in my lineups today. Jimmy Butler. Nobody knows what to do with Jimmy Butler today, guys. He's going to pull 2% ownership according to LineStar, and I looked on some sports books, and his point prop right now is 14.5 points. That is not normal for Jimmy Butler. He normally averages a lot higher points prop than that. So, I just don't know what to make of Jimmy Butler. I'm out here at Sam's. What do you mean, Sam's Club? I don't know what you're talking about, Shannon. I'm going to take the stand of fully fading Jimmy Butler today, and if he is coming out of the gates pissed off and wants to show up the Heat organization by dropping 50 fantasy points today, I will accept that defeat. But I will not be on JB today. I just don't know how they're going to handle such a delicate situation. Talked about most of these guys. I have no interest in Michael Porter. Cam Johnson, not really there. OG, no interest unless Cat misses. I mean, Elite, it scares the shit out of me because I really think that's a possibility. Didn't want to miss the show. Hey, I love Sam's Club, bro. Thank you for tuning in. Debating on skipping that first game or not. I think it's absolutely a viable strategy. I don't see anything that's truly sticking out in that first game. No interest in Michael Porter. Oh yeah, I already talked about him. Talked about most of these guys. No interest in Keon Johnson today. Najee Marshall, Klay Thompson. I'll lump them together and say just a 150 max GPP. Really like Bryce Sensabaugh again today. He is pulling ownership though at 17%, but he's just one of the few guys on this team I feel like does have upside. No interest in pretty much anyone down through here. Jaden McDaniels, always playable. Rui Hachimura. I don't know who seen it in the Discord the other night, but I said if you're playing the late slate, somebody asked about the late slate, and I said play Rui, because I don't play a lot of late slates. He's going to get the minutes. He is. I really like Rui Hachimura today. He's going to get the minutes, and he produced last time out. Keldon Johnson, just a deep GPP. Jonathan Isaac. Oh, God. Jonathan Isaac. Just GPP for me. You guys know he's my kryptonite. No interest. We've talked about pretty much all the people I'm interested in. Harrison Barnes, just a GPP play. Nobody else I'm really interested in. We've talked about Null. Cody Williams. He's going to get the minutes, but he just sucks at basketball. If he's your last guy in, you only have 3,800. He's fine, but he just sucks. Oh my God, Elite, that's so rough. I don't really care for Traveling Queen, Cam. Don't really care for him. Moving over to power forward, Wemby's looking great for me. But he is pulling so much ownership. 31%. So I'm going to have some Wemby, but I do not want to eat 31% of Wemby. I believe he's the most owned pay up. Yeah, it's not even close. Next closest is Anthony Davis at 22%. So I'm going to just try to get different there. I'm not going to eat 31% when I can get Joker for 2% owned. Exact same upside, possibly more. Giannis is intriguing to me because just looking at this on paper, this should be a home run spot for Giannis. I mean, I'm never going to tell you not to play him, but I went back and looked, and he has never had a good game against Toronto. Like, he always fails against Toronto. Just look at his last game. He played 29 minutes at Toronto and scored 38 fantasy points. I don't know if this team's just like his kryptonite or what the deal is, but I I don't know. I'm gonna have him because he's Giannis, but I'm not going overboard with him. Yeah, I mean, last game, honestly, he would have been a big failure, elite, if he didn't have 8 blocks. Last game, he had 8 blocks, played 37 minutes, but he shot 5 for 19. So, Anthony Davis is fine going against Brooklyn. Don't mind him. Talked about most of these guys. Zion is intriguing to me today. He's only pulling 6% ownership. He's probably still on the firm minutes limit. He does have huge upside. Not a guy that I'm going to play, but he is intriguing me. I would highly recommend a guy like 8-Legged Ape to play Zion Williamson over Paolo, because I know you're going to have one of them 8. I would highly recommend Zion over Paolo. Triple J grading out really well for me. Last game he played 31 minutes, only 33 fantasy points, but he did lack on the rebounding side with only 6, and he shot 8 for 24. I don't mind giving him another shot, and he's, like I said, he's just grading out really well for me. You love Zion today? I'm scared to death of his minutes. Oh God, 8, you got both of them? Jesus. Yeah, probably Cam. But I mean, like I said, if you look deeper into Wemby, like he would have failed had he not had 8 blocks. And I know Wemby is a freak, but he's not going to get 8 blocks every game, especially against a team you literally just played. They're going to say, yo, we should not drive the lane so much when this guy's in the paint. Roki signed with the Dodgers? Yeah, I mean, what's new? The Dodgers. I love baseball, but I wish they had a salary cap. Like, if you're a good player, you're going to the Mets, the Yankees, the Dodgers. They got the highest amount of money, so. Oh, you're an athletics fan? You can never hope to get any kind of free agent. Ever. Ever. You're a Miami Marlins fan? Oh, you're never going to sign that big name free agent you like. You know, it's annoying. Anyway, moving down the line here. I think Kristaps Porzingis is getting a tad bit overlooked. Only 6% owned. Really like him. Probably my favorite play from this game. But still, probably not going to have much of him. Julius Randle. We talked about him earlier. Revenge narrative. He's grading out just okay for me at best. He is only pulling 4% ownership. I will say if Cat misses, I am more intrigued by Randle because they're not going to really have anyone down low that can body up Randle. I guess Precious Achua could, but nowhere near the way Cat could. So, not going to have him in a single entry, but MME, I could get a couple shares. PJ Washington, no thank you. Just looking down the line here, we've either talked about them or I'm not interested in so many. Naj Reid, I mean, I always like Naj Reid. He's always in my player pool. Grading out fine. No interest in Adama, no interest in Gordon. Talked about Najee. If Cat misses and for some reason they start Precious, I highly doubt it. I'm almost certain they go with Sims. But if Precious starts, becomes intriguing. I've been high on Jovic lately, but with Butler back, I'm really not there. Noah Clowney, playable in a GPP. Talked about Rui. Talked about Keldon. We talked about so many of these guys. No interest in Haywood Highsmith or Patrick Williams. or Peyton Watson. Just nothing here I'm interested in except Kyle Filipowski, one of my favorite Jazz players today. Not the favorite, but like him, should get plenty of run today. And Kenrich Williams, only pulling 1% ownership in a deep GPP. I would say run one or two lineups with him, just because the center position's just so volatile in OKC right now. Speaking of center, let's move over there. Really like Joker today. He's only pulling 2% ownership right now. Now, I know the matchup isn't the greatest, but this is the Joker, right? Like, this guy's got 80, 90 point upside any given slate, and if you can get him at only 2% owned, I highly encourage you to. I would say have him in at least a handful of lineups if you're playing 150 max. Wemby, we talked about him. Talked about AD. I think Cat is fine if he plays. Happy to have Cat, but I'm kind of thinking he's not going to play. Vucevic grading out really well. Don't mind him. Probably the only Bulls player I'm really interested in. Don't really want to have Bam Adebayo today. Just Butler coming back really screws this whole Heat rotation up. If I'm doing single entry today, who's my value pick? It would be Drew Eubanks. That is the safest value if you're doing a single entry. Yeah, Joker is questionable. I forgot to mention that. He is questionable. But Denver plays at 7 o'clock, so like if he's ruled out, you'll be able to make changes. And you don't even have to get drastic with it. You can just move down to Wemby if you wanted to. Talked about Porzingis. Mark Williams is my favorite center on the slate. Yes, Cam. Mark Williams is my favorite center on the slate. I told you guys, was it yesterday or the day before? The day before. I said Mark Williams will be my most owned center today, and he dropped 59 fantasy points in 36 minutes. I'm not expecting him to play 36 minutes again, but Mark Williams, over his last 5 games, is a 1.31 fantasy point per minute. Over his last 20, 1.4. I expect him to play 30 to 32 minutes today, and he can absolutely crush the slate in that amount of time. He's pulling no ownership at only 3% because we got so many value centers today. I'm not going to make Mark Williams core, but I'm going to tell you, you want to be over the field on that 3% ownership of him. I love Mark Williams today. Not interested in Podol. Gafford's price just shot up way too much. He went from 4.5K last slate to 7K this slate. No thank you. No interest in Claxton. Gobert, just a GPP play. Wendell Carter, 5,500. I don't mind him. He's really their only big guy. But you just hope he stays out of foul trouble. Noah Clowney, GPP play. Jalen Williams really let me down yesterday. Made me look like a fool, but GPP play for me today. Zach Edey's grading out pretty well, actually. Don't mind him in a GPP. And then we got Drew Eubanks. Probably the best value on the slate today, guys. He is going to be the most owned player, in my opinion. Right now, he's pulling 35% ownership, according to Line Star. It looks like Brandon Miller just got ruled out. Diabate's in, Mark Williams in, Miller's out. That doesn't do a ton for me. I mean, I like Bridges a little more, LaMelo a little more, but that's about it. But Drew Eubanks, if you don't know where to go today, just start your build with Drew Eubanks. It opens up a lot. He's only 4,200. Also want to point out Daniel Theus, however you say it, 3,900, should get the start. It'll be him or JRE, but they're both going to get plenty of work today. Happy to play either one of them, but I do think Eubanks is safer. The last guy I want to talk about is Oscar Tishabiwi. I think that's right. Dude is a G League monster. Great fantasy point per minute producer. Pulling 5% ownership. He should back up Eubanks, but he does foul a lot. So I'm saying he is a get different play I like today, but he just played January 12th where he fouled out in 18 minutes. You got to understand the foul risk today with him. Got to understand the foul risk with him today. All right. You guys ready for the core? First core piece. I love Melo Ball. Really like Melo today. I just can't get away from him. He is my favorite pay up today. Second core piece is going to be Stephon Castle. He's just too cheap. Like when we went over the guards, I said something about it. The guy's just, his price is not where it should be. It's not where it should be at all. Yeah, absolutely, Chubbs. Absolutely. My next core piece is going to be Jalen Williams, the power forward, small forward. The power forward, small forward from OKC, not the center. That Jalen. Really like this spot for him today, and he's going overlooked at only 6% owned. Next core piece is going to be Rui Hachimura. 4,800 is just too cheap for a guy that's going to play 30 plus minutes. It just is. And I'm not going to give you guys center as much as I want to for the last core piece. I'm going to go with the point guard. Where's he at? Mike Conley. He's just good value on this slate. So that'll be our FanDuel core. Let me post it in the Discord. It's going to be LaMelo Ball, Mike Conley, Stephon Castle, Jalen Williams, and Rui Hachimura. Let's see what kind of lineups we're getting. So as you can see, we are getting a lot of stars and scrubs type builds. Eubanks at the center being cheap, then Wemby, Core Rui, Null, J. Will, Sexton Cat. I like the way this is going. I like the way this is going a lot. Happy to run this. Zion's ownership is 7.3, Paolo is 5.8, and Jamal is 9.2. I just went over the core, Chudy. It's always posted in the Discord as well. Let's move it to DK though. What in the world is up with that projection on Duncan? That's crazy. At point guard, Mike Conley, 3,500. You've got to core him over on DK. Jimmy will be unowned. You don't have to worry about Jimmy. 0.9%. Nobody's taking that risk today. But Mike Conley, he'll be my first core piece over on DK. Can't get away from him at 3,500. That's just a ridiculously cheap price. Keontae George at 6K. I'm happy to play him there. DeJounte Murray, really like the 8.2 price tag. Happy to pay that. LaMelo, he should absolutely ball today. Love him on DK. Probably going to be my core pay up piece over on DK too. Cole Anthony's just okay. Jamal Murray's grading out pretty well at that 7K. Can't say that I hate that at all. No interest in Josh Giddey, though. Not really interested in Dame. Getting a lot of news. What we got here? Ayo available. Kobe's available. Josh Giddey available. Heat starting hero. Duncan Robinson. Jimmy Butler. Haywood Highsmith. And Bam Adebayo. Celtics starting Holiday, White, Brown, Tatum, Porzingis. Terry Rozier is playable. Jalen Brunson becomes an instant lock on DK if we get news that Cat is out. SGA looks solid. Not really interested in Case and Wallace. Not interested in Scotty Barnes, Kobe White. Nobody else through here I'm really interested in. Move it over to the 2 guard. Trey Murphy at 7,800. Really cheap. Happy to have him. I guess Duncan Robinson now we know he's starting at 3,500. He is looking a little better. Don't mind him. Lou Dort at 4K is definitely playable. The 2 guard position honestly kind of sucks today, boys, on DK. Jamal Murray, 7K is looking good. Nikhil Alexander Walker at 3,300 looks really good. Nothing else I'm really interested at all. And at 9,100, definitely playable. Over a small forward, Jaden McDaniels, always in my player pool. Happy to have him. Bryce Sensabaugh, 4,800. I will definitely be slamming that on DK. Really like that play. Talked about Dort. No, really not much interest in Chris Middleton, but his price is really cheap. So if you get there, I see why. Najee Marshall, don't mind 4,900 for Najee. Nothing else really standing out. Power forward Kyle Filipowski at 4,200 is just an instant lock. He's going to be a core piece on DK. Really like him. JRE at 3,100 with the power forward eligibility that is so important. Looks great. Gonna have a ton of him. Naj Reid looks good. Don't mind him. Chris Boucher, It really is Kyle. Miles Bridges at 7,300 is looking great now that we got Brandon Miller out. Really like that Miles Bridges play there. Julius Randle 7,100. It's okay. Not interested in Jovic. Not interested in Paolo. I could stomach Zion, I suppose. Giannis is okay. Nothing else really standing out. Move it over to center. You guys know I'll give you a center over on DK. And for me today, I'm going to have a shit ton of Drew Eubanks, okay? I am. I really like Drew Eubanks. That's what we're going to do, actually. We're just going to go with a 2 center build today. Mark Williams, 6,800 is too cheap for this guy starting. Truly is. Truly is. But Drew Eubanks will be the last core piece. So super cheap core for DK. Let's optimize it, see what we get. But the DK core is going to be Mike Conley, Kyle Filipowski, Mark Williams, and Drew Eubanks. Let me post that in the Discord. So we're kind of getting a mix here. We got some stars and scrubs builds. We got some kind of middle of the road ones. Happy with kind of the way all these are turning out. I might have to sift through them and pick my favorite out. But, you know, a lot of Giannis with our builds. There's some a little mellow, but it looks like Giannis is the main one. If I had to pick a favorite, probably be this default 2 here. Conley, Murray, Sensabaugh, Filipowski, Williams, Murray, Giannis, and Eubanks. Looks really solid. I'm happy to run that. Magic starting Cole Anthony, KCP, Tristan Da Silva, Paolo, Wendell Carter Jr. Late addition to the injury report here. Zach LaVine with an illness now questionable. That is interesting. That's gonna make my Chicago look a little more intriguing. It's gonna make Gideon White look a lot more intriguing, guys, if he's out. Just a heads up. There it is right there. How do I feel about Ball, Murray, Braun, Filipowski, Williams, Conley, Sensabaugh, Brunson. Hang on. Let me swap to DK so I can see his price. Yeah, I couldn't pay 4,500 for Braun today. I know the 2 guard really sucks, but let's see what we can get for 4,500. I would rather have Casey Wallace or Lou Dort, and they're both cheaper. Even Duncan Robinson, like now that Duncan's starting for 3,500, I really like that play actually. Hey, me and 8 see eye to eye for once. I think Joker plays. That's just me personally. Like, I don't have any kind of outstanding news or anything like that. Well, we're at the part of the show where I'm going to build my lineups in the background, and if you guys have any questions whatsoever, please hit me with them. I'm a free resource here for you while you're building your lineups to just ask any questions you got. We'll pull up the data and look at it and assess the situation. Have Jamal. Okay, so small forward for 4,500. Let's see what we got there. Probably look a lot better actually. Yeah, you can get Jaden McDaniels, who looks worlds better in my opinion. Yeah, that's the pivot I would make. I would rock McDaniels. I just don't really care for Braun or his game. Middleton's ownership 4.4%. You telling me you're gonna play a backup center for Utah, Paolo, Zion, and Middleton, all 3 guys who are on minutes limits? The math is not in your favor here, 8. Good deal, Kyle. Do it, 8, do it. For y'all that don't know, A-Legged Ape, he plays a very contrarian lineup every night. Like, most of the time, he's playing dudes I know y'all have never heard of. Sometimes he'll tell me, he'll be like, I'm playing so-and-so, and I'm being like, that dude's, he's in the league? I thought that guy was in high school. It's in the Discord, Don. You're playing Rob Dillingham, ball, who I hope is DeJounte Murray, but I know it's Jamal. SGA, Jimmy Butler, J-Dub. Ooh. Ooh. You're gonna make me throw up. I hope it takes down for you though, buddy. I truly do. I can't believe you're not playing Lonzo today. The one slate I'd like Lonzo, and you're not playing him. Turning play: Reeves, Castle, Kobe White, Keontae, Rui, McDaniels, J. Will, Giannis, Eubanks. I don't mind that, Chubbs. I hate playing Kobe, but oh my God, you are playing Lonzo. I thought that was LaMelo in your lineup, 8. I guess it makes sense now because you got J-Dub, Paulo, Zion, Butler. You probably can't afford LaMelo. Ooh. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We do these shows every single day. Oh, I got you, 8. I got you. Agbaji was rolled out. Joker is a game time decision now. Game time decision. Just a heads up, I don't think it makes a difference, but Mogbo was recalled to Toronto from the G League, so I kind of already thought that Agbaji would sit. Like I said, I don't think it will make a difference, but just wanted to give you guys that heads up. Holy cow, I'm getting a lot of Jaren Jackson. A lot of Cody Williams. Oh, 8, you're wild, bro. You're wild. Devin will probably be pretty owned. 15.8. But I like Devin a lot today. Yeah, he just kind of has been sucking ass lately, brother. Getting a lot of Max Christie too. I'm okay with it. I think Kobe White becomes very intriguing. Very intriguing. Kobe White, very intriguing, guys, if Levine misses, which a downgrade this late in the day with due to an illness, it can be scary. You guys got any questions? Hit me with them. We got about 15 minutes to lock. My free resource here to help you out while you build. Join our Discord. It's completely free. Linked in the chat. You can ask me questions in there anytime. Do I prefer... No. I just checked it, Shannon. Ball? No. Sensible. McDaniels, Williams, Conley, Giannis, Gafford. Do I prefer it to what? The lineup you sent earlier? No, I don't think Kobe White is a must play, but he's a very intriguing one. I think he's a very intriguing one. I'm still actually getting more Lonzo than I am Kobe White. I'm going to have to rerun it. And Kyle, I would say they're probably about the same for me. I really like that second build, though, so... That second build might just get it. Giddey definitely gets an upgrade, but I feel like most of the public is going to pivot to Giddey. So I would I'd want to be on the White train today. Yeah, I really like Kyle Filipowski today. I gotta get my butt in gear. My lineups are not made yet. Okay, I just reran it, and I'm getting a lot more Kobe White now. A lot more Kobe White. Keontae or Vassell? Devin Vassell for me. They both look good, but I think Vassell has a higher upside. Thoughts on Keontae, Dort, Trey, Sensible, Eubanks, no, Josh Hart, and Joker? I don't mind that, Ronnie. I think it's just okay. And I don't mean that in like a bad way. It doesn't like blow me away, but I don't think it's bad at all either, if that makes sense. Gafford's totally playable on DK, but I don't think he's playable on FanDuel at the price. Thoughts on McCollum on DK? I only want McCollum if DeJounte Murray misses, and it looks like DeJounte Murray's playing, so not really there. Yeah, Conley's great value today, Jay. He's going to be chalky, but I just think he's a great value play today, buddy. And like Power said, Ronnie is, or not Ronnie, like Power said, Kyrie is in, guys. I think Miles Bridges, Kobe White, and Miles Bridges, Kobe White, and Rui Hachimura are some really good value, like middle of the road plays that are going to be overlooked today. Not saying they're going to be the best plays on the slate, but they're guys I'm going to be overweight too. I think are just getting a little overlooked. $8,700 forward on DK. Let's see here. Gonna be Trey Murphy. Really not close for me. Jalen Williams. Damn, that's tough. Jalen Williams or Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy's grading out better though, but I truly like. I really like Jalen Williams and I really like Trey Murphy, so it'd be one of those two guys, whichever one of those two you believe in more. About 5 minutes to lock. I guess I should probably work around my DK lineups, considering I ain't even got my FanDuel submitted yet. So I just tried everything I could to get Kobe White into my single entry, and I could not. I had to settle on Lonzo. So my single entry will have Lonzo, but I got a lot of Kobe and GPPs, guys. Giannis or Joker on DK? I think it'd be Giannis for me, but it is close. Ball, Kobe, Sexton, No, Bridges, Hachimura, Flip, Giannis, Eubanks. Looks great, Chubbs. I don't mind that at all. Three minutes to lock, guys. 3 minutes. You got questions, please hit me with them. We don't know, Kyle. We don't know. He's questionable and will be a true game time decision. What do you need my opinion on? Did you text me? There you go. I'll let you know. You need a guard for 4,100. We can definitely do that. Gonna be Mike Conley, unless you already got Mike Conley, and then it will be either Lou Dort or Duncan Robinson. Dort safer, but I think Duncan has a higher upside. Riskier though. Hope that helps you out, Ronnie. We are about to lock, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck, Kyle. Of course, Ronnie. Good luck, everyone. I hope to see somebody take down. I hope I help you guys make money. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button before you leave, guys. We do these shows every single day. Join our Discord. It's linked in the chat down below in the description. It's completely free, and you guys can ask me questions in there at any time. Late swap news is super important in the NBA, and I'll let you guys know if Joker is in or out, and who's a good swap if he is out. But I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful night. Love each and every